You won't believe what happened when the most powerful billionaire CEO in the city, always rushing through life, slammed into a struggling single dad, and felt something he had never felt before. Stay till the end, I promise this story will change how you see love, fate, and second chances. And if you feel even a spark of emotion while listening, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more stories that touch your heart. The lobby was packed that Monday morning. Phones ringing, heels clicking, coffee cups spilling. Daniel Harrington, the 38-year-old CEO of Harrington Global, was walking fast, almost running, toward the elevator. He hated being late for his Monday board meetings. His assistant's voice echoed behind him, reminding him of calls, documents, and deadlines. Daniel was the kind of man who lived his life like a perfectly drawn schedule. No surprises. No distractions. But fate doesn't care about schedules. As the elevator doors began to close, a man carrying a small child rushed toward them. Daniel stepped inside, but just as the doors were inches from ceiling, they collided. Not just their hands. Their whole bodies. The child, maybe 3 years old, let out a surprised squeak, clutching a worn-out teddy bear. Daniel stumbled back, blinking at the stranger before him. The man was tall but tired-looking, with messy brown hair and eyes that looked like they'd seen too much in too little time. "I'm so sorry," the stranger gasped, holding the child protectively. "We were running late." Daniel was ready to brush it off, but something made him pause. Maybe it was the way the man looked at the child, so full of love despite the exhaustion. Or maybe it was the fact that Daniel couldn't remember the last time someone had looked at him with anything close to that warmth. The elevator ride was awkwardly silent, except for the little girl's curious giggles. She reached for Daniel's tie. "Blue," she said, smiling brightly. Daniel couldn't help but smile back. The stranger's lips curved upward too, but there was sadness there. "I'm Mark," he finally said, adjusting his daughter on his hip. "And this is Lily. We're new here." New here. Daniel didn't know why, but those two words tugged at him. Something told him there was a story. But before he could ask, the elevator dinged, and Mark stepped out. Daniel stayed inside, watching them walk away, the man's shoulders slightly slouched, the child's tiny arms wrapped around his neck. Over the next week, Daniel couldn't stop thinking about them. He caught himself wondering what Mark did for work, why he looked so worn, and why, when Daniel looked into his eyes, it felt like home. It didn't make sense. He barely knew him. Fate stepped in again. On Thursday evening, Daniel left the office late, only to find Mark in the building's small cafe, wiping tables. His daughter was sitting in the corner, coloring with crayons. Mark looked embarrassed when he saw Daniel. "Part-time job," Mark explained quietly. "It's not much, but it helps." That's when the truth spilled out in pieces. Mark had lost his wife 2 years ago in a car accident. He'd been working odd jobs, trying to keep a roof over their heads. Lily was his world, but the bills were piling up. They'd moved into a small apartment nearby to start fresh, but fresh starts are expensive. Daniel felt something shift inside him. He'd spent years building an empire, chasing numbers, making deals worth millions, and here was a man doing everything he could for one little girl, without any safety net, without any praise. They began talking more. Coffee breaks turned into shared lunches. Daniel found himself slowing down, noticing the small things, the way Lily's laughter lit up the room, the way Mark's shoulders eased when someone actually listened to him. And Mark, in turn, started seeing through Daniel's polished, guarded exterior. He saw the man who had grown up lonely despite all the privilege, who had traded connection for success. But love, even when it sparks instantly, isn't without obstacles. Rumors started swirling in the office. Board members whispered about Daniel's new distraction. Mark worried about being in Daniel's world, a world of scrutiny, wealth, and power. "You're the kind of man who can have anyone," he told Daniel one night. "I'm just a single dad with too many problems." Daniel took his hand. "You're the kind of man who makes me want to be better," he said softly. "And that's worth more than anything I own." The real test came when Lily fell ill with a serious infection, and hospital bills threatened to bury Mark. Daniel didn't hesitate. He cleared his schedule, stayed by Lily's side, and used his influence to make sure she got the best care. For the first time, Mark let himself lean on someone. For the first time, Daniel's wealth felt like more than just numbers, it felt like a tool to protect something that truly mattered. Lily recovered, and in that quiet hospital room, Mark realized that love wasn't about matching lifestyles or fitting into someone's world perfectly. It was about choosing each other, every single day, no matter the mess. Months later, Daniel made a public announcement, not about a business merger, but about a partnership far more personal. Standing at a charity gala, with Mark and Lily beside him, he told the crowd, "This is the family I didn't know I was looking for. And I'm never letting go." And he didn't. So if you're listening to this wondering if love can really happen in an instant, if it can survive the noise, the doubts, and the differences, let this story remind you, sometimes, all it takes is one elevator ride to change your entire life. And sometimes, rushing through the world makes you crash right into what you were meant